Hi, this is Captain Rod Thomas from Captain Ponytail Guide Service in Carolina Composites, proud builders of Pioneer, Avenger, and Bulls Bay boats. And I'm here today at the Charleston Boat Show, the very start of the boating season here in South Carolina. A lot of excited folks walking around, buyers and potential buyers. And this is our first chance to show off our new design on our Baysport model. The Baysport is a hybrid bay boat, a little taller sides than most bay boats, but works well inshore, offshore, and in very shallow water. Great for the family. And we've added some new features. We've changed the deck around and done lots of new things. A lot of folks are very excited about it, and want to take this opportunity to show you, both here at the boat show and back at the plant, at the factory, how these changes were made and why they were made. Take a look. Let's see what's happening with the new design on the Pioneer Baysport.
You know, a lot of people don't really realize that when we first started building the 220 in 2008, it was ahead of the ball game on everything else, because it was really a true hybrid bay boat. It had, you know, deep sides where you could run near shore reefs, draft it shallow enough to where you could fish backwaters. You know, in running that boat for quite a few years, we figured out that we need a little more aft space for the fishermen to get around. And the biggest thing that I had here was a trolling motor installed, so we definitely needed to change the front end a little bit on the bow of the boat. Those are the two biggest changes that we've made to this new 220 Baysport.
You know, we first came out with 220 Baysport, year model 2008. Great boat. Sold quite a few of them in the Tampa Bay area. It was a true hybrid. It was way ahead of its time. The boat was rode great in rough water, had a little bit higher sides, so you felt more comfortable offshore with it, and actually sold real well. The problem we had with it is we put the jump seats on the outsides of the back deck. And we realized shortly after that the jump seats for the rear seats needed to be in the center of the boat. If not, the passengers in those jump seats would get a spray when there was a crosswind. We took the two jump seats out. We put a center seat in. We put, instead of having one center live well, we put a live well on each side of the back seat to give more live well capacity in the boat. That gave us approximately 8 to 9 inches more walk space behind the leaning post. See, it's more user friendly, easier to navigate around in the boat.
You know, we try to make the boat have good sexy appeals to it, good curves to it, and the bow was really rounded, which had the Carolina flair to it also, but it made for a trolling motor install to be a little tougher. So what we did is we kind of squared it back off and made it where, you know, the consumer can install it fairly easy. That was one of the biggest things that I had as far as doing the customer service side of this here, was how do I get that trolling motor on the 220 Baysport. And now we've done that now to where the average consumer can handle it.
This boat, because it is a little bit deeper than most bay boats, when you do the forward seating in it, you actually sit down in the boat a little bit more than you do on normal bay boats. So we have forward seating available for the boat with backrest, and when you remove the backrest, then the socket for the backrest becomes a rod holder. Another good feature for this boat now is we have twin swim platforms, where before we only had one on the port side. Now we have one on port and starboard. Gives you a more symmetrical look, balances the boat out a little bit, balances the look of the boat out. Because we made the swim platforms a little bit narrower, you're able to run dual power poles on this boat if you'd like, even with twin platforms on it. And by making these subtle changes to this boat, it really made the whole boat a lot different. And in doing so, we expect great things out of it. We expect sales to increase drastically. It's just given in a 22-foot boat, we try to put so much in it as far as feature-wise, that you don't have a lot of room to move around in it. So all this extra floor space, all this extra room that we have is going to be very vital in a 22-foot boat. And by making these subtle changes to this boat, it really made the whole boat a lot different. And in doing so, we expect great things out of it. We expect sales to increase drastically.